contrast. Speed turns me on. You guys stand on the escalator. That drives me crazy.
That's going up.
I can't walk around you or anything. And I can't drive too good. I don't like driving anyway. And then come to think of it, the first week I was here, they stole my car. Now, granted, it was a rental car, but it still hurt. I had just put gas in it. I was very upset. But I figured it was no big deal. I bought the insurance. So I just called the rental car agency, and they sent me another one. The guy was nice on the phone. No problem, Mr. Chappelle. We're going to upgrade you. We're sending you, hold on to your hat, a Lincoln Town Car. I said, wow. Is that nice? Man, you're going to love it. Any of you guys ever see a Lincoln Town Car before? It looked like a big-ass pimp car. I was like, what is this? I couldn't even keep it in one lane. Oh, man. I felt like a pimp in that car. I did, man. I drove it down Sunset Boulevard. All the whores snapped to attention. A lot of weird stuff happens here, man. You guys on a roll with your natural disasters and riots and woo! This place is, it really fascinates me. New York is bad too. I live in New York now. New York's bad. It's a lonely feeling, isn't it? I know how you feel. It's different, isn't it? New York is bad in a different kind of way. It's so dirty, man. The wildlife is dirty. You ever see a New York squirrel? I'm scared of squirrels because of them. They are just filthy. Any of y'all know what squirrels are supposed to eat? Anybody? Nuts. That's what I thought. You know what I saw a squirrel eating in New York? An Egg McMuffin. Something is right. Anything they can find. They chew gum, they smoke old cigarettes. They're just foul animals, man. That whole city is crazy. I don't know. You ever notice, I don't know, like I see a couple kids in here. I don't know if you kids read comic books. You notice, though, most of the superheroes live in New York because we desperately need them. But I think New York is rubbing off on superheroes because they're all like very bad role models for children. I don't know if you've ever noticed that or not. Like look at Wonder Woman. You ever just take a good look at her? Look at her clothes. Tacky, tacky, tacky. Big old red hooker boots and blue underwear with stars. What the hell is she dressed for? Look at the weapons they give a woman to fight with. A golden lasso that makes you tell the truth. What is she gonna do with that? Just catch a bad guy. Gotcha! I wasn't gonna say anything earlier, but this lasso just squeezed the truth right out of me. Terrible thing. And I'm not just picking on the women either. I'm talking about all superheroes. Can't stand superheroes. They're so prejudiced, too. You ever notice how prejudiced superheroes are? They only fight crime for the very rich. Think about it. You will never see Batman in the projects wasting his goddamn time. I can see him now. He's just robbing. Yes, Batman. Didn't we park the car right here, man? What the hell happened? Something about New York. New York diversified me, though. I learned a lot about culture there. I'm a big culture buff. I don't know. I don't want to point anybody. Anyone here in the audience Jewish? Shalom. A little something I picked up. Actually, I mean, I like everybody, but I'm gonna have to be honest. Jewish people are my favorite white people. You guys are the only ones that can grow an afro if you really wanted to. I am so impressed by that. I just like the whole thing, man, and you party like black people. You're so similar. I went to a bar mitzvah when I was 13. One of the 3 best parties I've been to in my life. We got banned. I walked in there, everyone from school was there. The guy from ZZ Top was on stage. I said, man, this is gonna be good. You know, we walked in the synagogue and they gave us them party hats y'all wear. I got a seat in the front. And my friend Charlie Buckholtz, that's the guy who was being bar mitzvah, he walked on stage and that whole place got quiet. He picked up these 2 scrolls, started reading from them. He wasn't really reading, he was almost singing. Baruch atah Adonai. Sounded beautiful. Now, I had never been to a synagogue before, but at a black church, if someone on stage is singing, you're supposed to sing along. Whether you know the words or not. I did the best I could. Then things really picked up. We all left the synagogue and went to this after party at the Hyatt. This is the fun part. There was all kinds of food, man, bagels and filthy fish. And we went in there. And I was wondering what kind of music they were gonna play. Now let me tell you something. I don't know who this Hava Nagila guy is, but his album is slamming. They put that music on, the whole place just lit up. Everyone was dancing. I was breaking plates. Hey! And someone shouted out, sponsor. That's Greeks. Oh, sorry about that. Wrong white people. But anyway, we were having a great time. I didn't even know it was a tradition. You're supposed to pick the person who's being bar mitzvah. You pick their mother up in a chair and dance around the party. I did not know that that was a tradition. I mean, I was just thinking, man, we are out of control tonight. That was fun. It broadened my horizons, man. I mean, I was a very ignorant child. I didn't know a lot of things. Like when I was growing up, I don't want to offend anybody here. Let me check the exits. Okay, when I was growing up, I used to think that all white people, don't be mad, I thought all white people were happy just to be white. I know it sounds silly. I thought you just walked around, hallelujah, I'm white. This feels great. Taxi. Just checking. Go ahead. Thank you, everybody. Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle. Excellent, Dave. Excellent. Dave Chappelle, ladies and gentlemen.
All these movements, not to get deep, all these movements probably started, not even the 60s. All this shit started in 1945. That's when America just fucking lost its mind. It was after that Second World War. Think about it. Because black Americans went off and fought in the war. They went to Europe. They made more money than they ever made in America. They might even got their dick sucked by white women. And then they came back to the United States and they looked around and they said, you know what? I don't like the way I'm being treated around here. But it wasn't just black dudes. At the same time, all the women in America went into the workforce because all the men were gone. That's when you see that old poster in the 40s with that dyke, like, we can do it. That's where that's from. And these women made money, and then the dudes came back home and started telling these women what to do, and they were like, yo, I'm not feeling you, nigga. At the same time, the CIA started experimenting with a drug in San Francisco. Back then, nobody knew about it, called LSD. By 1960, all the white kids in America were like, it works. And a new school of thought was unleashed on the American consciousness. People had never even thought like that before, and now they were thinking like that in mass. White kids in mass were like, fuck our parents' plans for us. By the time 1960 rolled around, the President of the United States was 42 years old. He was the next best hope. And they blew his brains out in Dallas in fucking parade. That's the most gangster shit. There were 8 major assassinations in the 60s. Kennedy, X, King, Edwards. And then by the 70s, the white youth culture and the Black Panthers and the black youth culture started to merge. And you started to see Timothy Leary meeting Eldridge Cleaver in Africa, not Oakland. And that was the beginning of the 70s, one of the most turbulent decades this nation has ever seen. And I say all that to say this, that in that turbulent historical context, Bill Cosby raped 34 people. A lot of raping. Oh, I didn't want to believe it. Every time I turned on the TV, I saw another old woman describing one of these antique rapes. These rapes were old school. They'd be like, and then Bill Cosby pulled my bloomers down. Bloomers? I saw him peering through me through a large cloud of vagina hair. Vagina hair? I've seen that in years. I saw this shit. I said, these people are obviously trying to destroy Dr. Cosby's rich legacy. 34 allegations later, I was still like, man, they probably only raped 13 or 14 of those people. Do all that raping. It's like 50 fucking rapes. And don't forget, each one of these rapes have 8 hours of sleep in them. It's like 1,000 hours of rape. Packed into an otherwise busy schedule. Short corporate rapes, that's what I support. Why would they sleep? That's what I don't understand. Why is Bill Cosby making all these girls sleep? Like, look, man, I'm not even as famous as Bill Cosby was, but I know 20 girls I could call right now and be like, yo, come to my place for a drink, and I'm gonna put something in it, and you're gonna fall asleep, and I'm gonna fuck you while you're sleeping. And they'd be like, cool, nigga, cool. What time you want me to come over? Is that a train here, that train? Trains do something to black people. Didn't you feel like running for that train? I've never been in a situation where I needed something about being black, nigga. You just, when you hear a train, we'll see like, I've gotta go. Just wanna run away. No, man, for real, it's not comfortable like it used to be. I don't know how transgender people beat black people in the discrimination Olympics. If the cops shot this many trannies, you'd be like, it's a goddamn conspiracy.
Right.
The niggas gonna start wearing high heels just to feel safe. Problem, officer? Was my bag and purse on match? Is there a problem? There's too many, man. It's too many. There was one good one in California where the lady got beat up in traffic. You see that shit on YouTube?
Yeah.
And they beat the shit out of her. You watch the tape, you be like, well, what did she do? Turns out she didn't even do anything. But the good news is the city of LA decided that the court should award her $1.5 million for pain and suffering. Which, if you know anything about money, is as much Marcos Maidana made to fight Floyd Mayweather the second time. It's pretty good considering this woman never trained a day in her life. You can see it in the tape. She didn't come to fight. She took too many shots. Punched her gut, she covered her gut, punched her face. She just wasn't doing it right. What? You know what's funny about being in San Francisco? First of all, the city's not even gay anymore. Gay people can't afford to live there. They just visit. Gay people got their money tied up in other shenanigans. Where you from, bro? Where? Canada? Well, all right, you can get off the watch list. You know, America has a racial hot seat, which belongs to black Americans, but I know you sat in it for a while. I can honestly say Arabs and Mexicans sat in that seat. And we, the black Americans, would like to thank you both for your sacrifice and your struggle. Everybody goes through something, but at least I can leave my backpack someplace. If you leave your backpack, you got 20 minutes to find that shit before they send a robot to blow your luggage up. Don't you remember San Francisco when that motherfucking tiger jumped out of the cage and bit those people up? And San Francisco is so gay, the whole city blamed the tiger. No, they blamed the victims. They didn't even say shit about the tiger. They said these people were teasing that tiger. That's irrelevant. Tigers should not be able to jump out of the cage and kill people at the zoo. They said that that tiger chased one of his victims 400 yards. Listen, you know how fucking fast you have to run to outrun a tiger for 400 yards? Nigga probably woke up in the hospital with an NFL recruiter standing over his bed. You did good, son. You did very good. I know this isn't a good time, but I'm with the Cincinnati Bengals. Complete coincidence. I think we can tie something in and do something really big with you. One of the guys the tiger bit was Mexican, and the other two were Arabs. I said, who trained this tiger? Homeland Security, like everybody? I gave that tiger some beans. You smell those beans? You can smell that. Go get them. There's some curry. I see a lot of Indians in San Francisco. I always wanted to be in a Bollywood movie. Because Bollywood movies are deep, but at the end of the movie, no matter what kind of movie it is, there's always a dance number to make you feel better when you go home. Even if it's Precious. At the end of the movie, Precious would just jump out of the coffin. I don't have AIDS. You ever see Precious? Boy, that was a sad movie. Yeah, that was tough. If you haven't seen it, you know all the statistics of living in urban life in America. But if you could picture all those statistics happening to one person for 90 minutes, that was Precious. Life through the book of that fat bitch. And the music haunted me. Because the music was like, you know, like, I don't know, break beats or something. If they had Eddie Vedder do the score for Precious, I'd have killed myself in the movie theater. They had some of that, like, Smashing Pumpkins. Precious was morbidly obese. She couldn't read good. She was a victim of incest, and the baby had Down syndrome. Still the first verse, nigga. You gotta see the movie. She caught AIDS at the end. She might have had it the whole movie, but at the end she found it. That's one way to lose weight, you know. This fucking movie, Precious is a fictitious character. I'm sorry, everybody. It's a fucked up movie. It was a fucked up movie. I got scared when I went to see Straight Outta Compton, and Eazy-E caught AIDS at the end. That shit freaked me out, because I didn't know you could get AIDS from firing your manager. You didn't see Straight Outta Compton? Eazy-E caught AIDS in the last 10 minutes of the movie. He just started, you good, nigga? You all right? Yeah, I'm good. Who catches AIDS like that? AIDS does not sound like that. It's a racking cough. And AIDS weird that a disease came out of nowhere in the 80s that doesn't kill anybody but niggas, fags, and junkies? What kind of disease hates everybody that old white people hate? I think the government hid that shit in disco balls. Only fun people get AIDS. You never see that guy? I think I'm gonna stay home and read a book. That nigga David said, I think I'm gonna stay home and cook for myself. Yeah. Remember when Donald Sterling made that tape? Said all those bad things about black people? That tape was fucked up. But that goes to show everybody, if you get old and white and racist in America, whatever you do, don't tell your black girlfriend about that shit, because that's who made the tape. She taped everything. The tape was embarrassing. He was like, stop bringing these black guys to my games. We were all listening like, well, how you gonna have a game without us? There's gonna be a lot of bounce passes and layups in that shit. And then it turned out the black guy he was speaking of was none other than Magic Johnson, NBA legend and billionaire. Unfucking believable. Didn't even mention the fact that he had AIDS, which is the first thing I would have said to my girlfriend. This guy must be very racist if AIDS is the footnote. How many of y'all work for Google? Nobody? Thanks, Fuse. That air horn always pushes the joke through. You ever do something regular, but if you do it with the air horn, it sounds better. Like once I pulled my dick out at a New Year's Eve party. Real traumatic experience. I'd been drinking. It's really fucked up. I had to make all new friends. I did it on the 10 count. The motherfuckers was like, 6, 5. And I was saying to myself, what if I pulled my dick out? They said 3, and then I looked down and said, oh no, it's out! That air horn pushed me over the top. I pulled that shit out. I was like, oh! Man, when that nigga pulled his dick out, that really set the party off.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Chappelle.
Thank you. Oh boy, I'm very nervous. No pressure. During the Civil Rights Movement, I can't read what's on the teleprompter. Some about black America and white America. There's black Americans and there's white Americans. We're all one America. So if you don't mind, this is not live, is it? I imagine whatever I say, you could just edit it out. Let's try it a few ways. Lou, are you in the booth?
I am.
All right, good. You know what, Lou? Let's just play around with it and see if we can get it right and get this clip package on, and then let me go home. All right?
You got it.
All right.
Ready.
All right. Count me in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Wu-Tang. I'm just with you, Lou. Let's do it again. We're gonna do it again. We'll get it right.
Here we go, Dave. 5, 4, 3, 2.
You know, when I was a comedian starting out in Washington, D.C., right here in this city, 1988, I'll never forget this. It was a comedy club owner that banned profanity from his comedy club. He said it offended his audience, and this was a cause of major concern for all the comedians in the circuit. And we all called a meeting, and we had the owners come, and it was the club owners, and it was the comedians. It was the classic labor dispute. The club owners laid out their case. There cannot be profanity in these clubs because that offends people. And there's a comedian who's still a good friend of mine to this day. He lives right here in Washington, D.C. He stood up. And he said, he's black, I should tell you, because it's important to the story. He says, I use profanity because I live a profane lifestyle. He says, I don't have an insect infestation in my house. I have roaches. My favorite comedians are like musicians, and the audience is their instrument. And the music they make is your laughter. And that's the laughter that I scored my entire life to. So now, some of my favorite American comedic composers. Thank you.
When I lose my job, I lose my man. Treat me like a dog, he called me a dog. Yes, he did. One day he called me an old dog. Sometimes I wished I was a dog and he was a tree.
When you stop and think, football's a fair sport for my people. Only sport in the world a Negro can chase a white man and 40,000 people stand up and cheer him.
See, in my neighborhood, the kids have a kind of a dubious reaction to that whole Santa Claus concept. They just don't believe that a white man will ride a reindeer through Harlem after midnight.
In truth, white friend, it's you that all look alike. But look at the black people around you. We all different colors. Black walnut, burnt almond, chocolate mocha, pecan, vanilla, yellow, mellow, light, bright, and damn near white.
We come from the first people on the earth. You know, the first people on the earth were black people. We the first people had thought, right? We was the first one to say,
where am I? And how do you get to Detroit?
I think maybe like 30 years ago, there was a woman that wanted to sing, and a black lady that sang opera, that wanted to sing, what was her name? Mary Anderson. And this place was like segregated, and they couldn't sing here. And here we are, like not even 50 years later, a 22-year-old black man on stage getting paid to hold his God bless America. I gotta go now. Y'all take it easy. Bye-bye.
Janelle Monáe, Will Smith, Common, Gladys Knight, and John Legend when we continue.
Yeah, man. You ladies are right. To be honest with you, your lives look terrifying to me. They do, man. I know nothing about being a woman, but I know fear. Yo, I used to live in New York when I was 17, and I couldn't even pay my bills. You know what I did to make money? I used to do shows for drug dealers that wanted to clean their money up. One time I did a real good set, and these motherfuckers called me in the back room. They gave me $25,000 in cash. It's probably 18, 19 years old. I'm scared. I thanked them profusely. I put that money in my backpack. I jumped on the subway and started heading towards Brooklyn at 1 o'clock in the morning. Never been that terrified in my life. So I never in my life had something that somebody else would want. I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, if motherfuckers knew how much money I had in this backpack, they'd kill me for it. And then I thought, holy shit.
What if I had a pussy on me all the time? That's what women are dealing with. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's real talk. If them same drug dealers gave me a pussy and said, put this in your backpack and take it to Brooklyn, I'd be like, nigga, I can't accept this. I empathize, man, you know. Everybody gets mad because I say these jokes. But you understand that this is the best time to say them. More now than ever. And I know there's some comedians in the back. Motherfucker, you have a responsibility to speak recklessly. Otherwise. New York Times said that Louis C.K. jizzed on his own stomach. You know, I've busted a lot of nuts in my day. None of them were newsworthy. Shit was really gross, because they didn't just say it like I said it. They didn't just say jizz on the stomach. They said it in that fucking Pulitzer Prize winning style that the New York Times has. It was very descriptive, like, you know what I mean? Louis C.K.'s semen shot out like a volcano of misogyny, slowly drizzling down like lava, covering his freckled penis as it slowly dripped to a fiery crown of red hair. So, Jesus Christ, I'm trying to eat some Huevos Rancheros, and these niggas is... And you know, the tough part, being a comedian, knowing the motherfuckers, everybody comes up to me like, did you know? Did you know what Louis was doing? No, bitch, I did not know. The fuck you think we talk about at the comedy club? Hey, nigga, how was the weekend? Great, man. I was just jerking off in faces and coming on my own stomach, having a good time. You know how this business is. No, I didn't know. They act like we sit around like Grease. Tell me more, tell me more. Bitch, you put up a fight. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I don't know the choreography, but you get the point. You get the point. She was intense. But Louis was like the turning point. I mean, you know, all these allegations are terrible. Louis was the only... I shouldn't say this, but fuck it. His allegation was the only one that made me, like, laugh. If you think about it, all his friends reading it, and he's jerking off, and he's surprising people. He's surprising me. I just picture all the comics in comedy just reading it like, what? It's terrible. I know it's terrible. I'm sorry, ladies. You're right. You are right. But at the same time, I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know. Jesus Christ, they took everything from Louis. I was like, it might be disproportionate. I can't tell. I can't tell. This is like where it's hard to be a man. One lady said, Louis C.K. masturbating in front of me ruined my comedy dreams. Word? Well, then I dare say, madam, you may have never had a dream. Come on, man, that's a brittle spirit. That is a brittle ass spirit, nigga. That shit is too much. This is a grown ass woman. You know what this shit is like? It's like COINTELPRO. You know what that is? It's a program that the FBI had on J. Edgar Hoover. In this program, one of the many things they did was they would track the sexual habits of anyone they considered an enemy of the state. It was a lip button. That's why they got all these fucking sex tapes with Martin Luther King fucking bitches. But lucky for us, he actually had a dream. You think if Louis C.K. jerked off in front of Dr. King, he'd be like, I can't continue this movement. I'm sorry, but the freedom of black people must be stopped. I didn't know this nigga was gonna pull this dick out and jerk off like this I just thought we were gonna get a couple of drinks and chill. Show business is just harder than that. The women sounded like, I hate to say it, they sound weak. I know it sounds fucked up, I'm not supposed to say that, but one of these ladies was like, Louis C.K. was masturbating while I was on the phone with him. Bitch, you don't know how to hang up a phone? How the fuck are you going to survive in show business? Thank you very much for being here. But before I start tonight, I just wanted to read a brief statement that I prepared. I denounce anti-Semitism in all its forms. And I stand with my friends in the Jewish community. And that, Kanye, is how you buy yourself some time. I gotta tell you guys, I've probably been doing this 35 years now. And early in my career, I learned that there are two words in the English language that you should never say together in sequence. And those words are the and Jews. I've never heard someone do good after they said that. Kanye's gotten into some scrapes before. Normally when he's in trouble, I pull up immediately. But this time I was like, you know what? Let me see what's gonna happen first. Just want to see where this is all going. I can't even remember how it started. Vaguely, I remember it started with a tweet, strange tweet. It was like, I'm feeling a little sleepy. I'm gonna give me some rest, but when I wake up, I'm gonna go DEFCON 3 on the Jews. And then he just went to bed. I was up all night worried. What is he gonna do to the Jews? I grew up around Jewish people. I have a lot of Jewish friends, so I'm not freaked out by your culture. I know a little bit about it just from hanging around. Be like, yo, let's go out at school tomorrow. They'll be like, we can't go out. It's Shana Na tomorrow. I'll be like, what is Shana Na? I had so many questions. Why do some of your people dress like Run DMC? Kanye woke up from that nap, he went right to work. A year ago, I'd seen him on a podcast called Drink Champs, a great show, and it was an amazing appearance. Noriega and them were there, the rappers that I love, and they all had their gold chains and stuff on. And Kanye said, only millionaires wear chains. They said, what? He said, I'm a billionaire. Billionaires don't wear their money on their body. I tucked my chain and I said, oh, snap. That's right. It was a good appearance. It was fun and funny. But when he woke up, he went on Drink Champs again. This time, he was on one. He was mad about something. He said, I can say anti-Semitic things, and Adidas can't trap me. Now what? Adidas dropped that nigga immediately. Ironically, Adidas was founded by Nazis. And they were offended. I guess the student had surpassed the teacher. It's a big deal. He had broken the show business rules. This is a rule. You know, the rules of perception. If they're black, then it's a gang. If they're Italian, it's a mob. But if they're Jewish, it's a coincidence, and you should never speak about it. Kanye got in so much trouble, Kyrie got in trouble. Kyrie Irving posted a link to a movie that he had seen on Amazon. No caption on the post or nothing like that. But apparently this movie had some, I don't know, anti-Semitic tropes or something. And it was some weird title like From Hebrew to Negro or something. And the NBA told me he should apologize, and he was slow to apologize. And then the list of demands to get back in their good graces got longer and longer, and this is where, you know, I draw the line. I know the Jewish people have been through terrible things all over the world, but you can't blame that on black Americans. You just can't. You know what I mean? Thanks to the one person that said that. A fair punishment would be he should just post a link to Schindler's List and y'all write your own captions. Kyrie Irving's black ass was nowhere near the Holocaust. In fact, he's not even certain it existed. I saw one news pundit screaming about Kanye. She said, mental health is no excuse for that type of language. Yes, it is, bitch. You can kill somebody if you're mentally ill. Listen, okay, I don't think Kanye is crazy at all. I think he's possibly not well. Well, I've been to Hollywood. I don't want y'all to get mad at me. I'm just telling you. I've been to Hollywood. This was just what I saw.
Whatever you do, don't fall for me. Don't put your trust in me. Don't even lie for me. I want you, honey. I don't get you.
It's a lot of Jews. Like a lot. But that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? There's a lot of black people in Ferguson, Missouri. Doesn't mean we run the place. I could see if you had some kind of issue, you know what I mean? You might go out to Hollywood and your mind might start connecting some kind of lines, and you could maybe adopt the delusion that the Jews run show business. It's not a crazy thing to think, but it's a crazy thing to say out loud in a climate like this. Now the midterms are over in this crazy climate, and I got to tell you, I feel like this midterm, like all of humanity, depends on it. And it's an ominous sign. The most ominous sign of the midterms, I believe, would be Herschel Walker, who I don't want to speak badly of because he's black. But I have to admit, he's observably stupid. Even when he's not talking, his mouth be open a little bit like. He's the kind of guy that looks like he thinks before he makes a move on tic-tac-toe. And I'm watching the news now, they're declaring the end of the Trump era. Now, okay, I can see how in New York you might believe this is the end of his era. I'm just being honest with you. I live in Ohio amongst the poor whites. A lot of you don't understand why Trump was so popular, but I get it, because I hear it every day. He's very loved. And the reason he's loved is because people in Ohio have never seen somebody like him. He's what I call an honest liar. Well, I'm not joking right now. He's an honest liar. That first debate, I'd never seen anything like it. I've never seen a white male billionaire screaming at the top of his lungs, "This whole system is rigged," he said. And across the stage was a white woman, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, sitting over there looking at him like, "No, it's not." I said, "Now, wait a minute, bro. It's what he said." And the moderator said, "Well, Mr. Trump, if in fact the system is rigged, as you suggest, what would be your evidence?" You remember what he said, bro? He said, "I know the system is rigged I use it. I said, God damn. And then he pulled out an Illuminati membership card and chopped a line of cocaine up and did it right into the podium. No one had ever heard someone say something that true. And then Hillary Clinton tried to punch him in the taxes. She said, this man doesn't pay his taxes. He shot right back. That makes me smart.
Celebrity hunting season. Doesn't matter what I say, they're gonna get everybody eventually. Like, look, I don't think I did anything wrong, but we'll see. They even got poor Kevin Hart. Can you imagine such a thing? Kevin Hart, let me tell you something. It was Kevin Hart's dream to host the Oscars. That's what he told me. And I remember when he told me, because I was thinking to myself, well, that's an awfully strange dream for an African American. Kind of nigga dreams of hosting the Oscars. Kevin did, that's who. And he did it. Against all the odds, Kevin became the most famous comedian this world has ever seen, and he got the job that only one black man before him had had. He was gonna host the 80th Oscars. And I don't know what you know about Kevin, but I know Kevin Hart is damn near perfect. As close to perfect as anybody I've ever seen. In fact, Kevin is precisely 4 tweets shy of being perfect. 10 years ago, Kevin had made some very homophobic comments. And I'm not going to repeat what he said, because this is Atlanta. You know what I mean. I'm sure there's a lot of gay men here tonight with their wives. Far be it from me to offend anybody. All right, I'll tell you what he said. But just remember, these were not my words. These were Kevin's words. And it was a long time ago. And I'm paraphrasing because I'm not good at telling other people's jokes. Okay, Kevin said that if his little son was demonstrating or exhibiting homosexual behavior around the house, that he'd chastise him. He'd say, hey, that's gay. And then he said he would smash a dollhouse over that child's head. Ooh, the gay community was furious. And I don't blame them. I got a lot of gay friends. And all of them, 100% of them, all have told me fucking horror stories about the shit they had to go through just to be themselves. Crazy, crazy stories. And in all those stories, I gotta say, not one of them has ever mentioned anything like their father smashing a fucking dollhouse over their head. Because clearly Kevin was joking. Think about it. You would have to buy this nigga a dollhouse to break it over his head in the first place. Does that sound right? Is anybody gonna do that? The gay community was upset, and then they put so much pressure on the Academy of Motion Pictures and Sciences that they went to Kevin and said, if you don't apologize to that community, then you cannot host these Oscars. And then Kevin said, fuck it, I quit. And then he went on every talk show in America and apologized for 6 weeks. Kevin fucked up. I understand the mistake he made because I've made the same mistake early in my career. This is many years ago, 15 years ago. It's when I was doing Chappelle's show. Thank you. On network television, they have a department that's called Standards and Practices. This is the department that tells you what you can and cannot say on television. And if you're doing your job well, you should never hear from them. But if you're making Chappelle's show, you'll hear from these motherfuckers all the time. And remember, this is 15 years ago. I made a mistake. I didn't even know I had done anything wrong. I had written a sketch that had the word faggot in it. So I had to go to standards and practices. They call me up. I don't know why they're calling me, but I like the lady that runs the department. She's usually really fair and was one of my favorite people I've ever worked with. So she sits me down. We have a nice conversation. She tells me, oh, the sketches are great. I go, oh, fantastic. Well, then why am I here? She said, because, David, there's no way that you can ever say the word faggot on our network. I didn't know I did anything wrong. I didn't try to defend myself. I said, all right, fuck it, I'll take it out. Have a good afternoon. And as I was leaving, it occurred to me, hey, Renee, quick question. It's just a question. Seriously, I want to know, like, why is it that I can say the word nigger with impunity?
And they all looked at me. They could tell who I was voting for just as easily as I could tell who they were voting for. But do you guys know what we all had in common? Not one of us, not a single one of us, looked like we felt good about what we had to do in that booth. We were just doing our goddamn duty. Yes, I voted for Hillary Clinton. Of course I did. I voted for her because I liked what she said vastly better than I liked what he said. But to be honest with you, at that point, that shit was like watching Darth Vader do the I Have a Dream speech. That bitch is mean as hell. She'd already Karate Kid swept Bernie Sanders' legs from underneath him. Boy, it was hard voting for that shit. But it was the lesser of the evils. I know you were a Clinton supporter, Miss I. I'm sorry for her. But it didn't feel as good as it should have. She was gonna be our first woman president. They were gonna make coins out of this bitch. And somehow she just missed the dunk. Of course she should have beat him. Of course she should have beat him. You know what voting for her felt like? It was bittersweet. It felt like I was lucky enough to eat Halle Berry's pussy. And whilst I was doing so, she fucking farted in my face, man. Now you understand, I'd still do it. But boy, I wish she didn't fart in this great nation's face. I voted that day, and then that same day I flew to New York City. I had work. That night I was in a comedy club in New York, and I said to an audience almost exactly what I just said to you. And I didn't know that there was a journalist in the room. And this journalist wrote an article. The headline of the article said, Dave Chappelle is an avid. Yeah. I had no idea the paper said that. And you know how I found out? My wife called me from Ohio the next morning in a goddamn panic. David, what the fuck is going on in New York? I said, I'm being good, but what have you heard? And my wife said, the paper is saying that you're a Donald Trump supporter. I was like, whew. I said, don't worry about that shit, baby. Nobody in their right mind would believe that. And she said, no, David, people believe it. And then she started reading the comments to me. Oh, they were terrible. All these black people call me all kinds of Uncle Toms and shit. I should tell you, buddy, this is a very serious allegation from one black to another. I was incensed. Uncle Tom! How am I Uncle Tom, nigga? You the one that reads the Observer? Anyway, all this shit goes down around, and now Trump is the president, and I'm hosting Saturday Night Live. And I didn't really prepare my monologue. I just kind of winged it. And at the end of the monologue, I don't even remember what I said. I said something like, fuck it, we're historically disenfranchised, and we're gonna give him something about we're gonna give him a chance if he gives us a chance. I don't know what I said, but whatever I said, I really wish I didn't say that shit. It was not worth the trouble. Now I walk into the barber shop and all them black people just be looking at me like, yo, Dave, what's up with your boy? Yo, nigga, yo! Not my boy. Because I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat, if you support him or not, any objective person is going to have to admit that this motherfucker is having a terrible go of it. It really is. We've had presidents before that have done bad jobs, but this shit is worse than a bad job. It's scary to watch. Holy shit, it's like seeing a crack pipe in your Uber driver's passengers. The fuck is wrong with this guy? Yo, he is lunching, nigga. I watched Donald Trump in a press conference, and this motherfucker had all the media gathered, and this nigga literally asked the media to their face to stop finding shit out. I was like, yo, this motherfucker is bugging. And then, I'm not even making this up, his lips started sweating. His lips. Have you ever seen a motherfucker's lip sweat? What the fuck is wrong with this nigga's lips? It's like if you're on a plane, right? You ever been on a plane? I get scared to fly. I do it all the time. I be scared on there. And sometimes the plane will hit turbulence. And then I get nervous. But I always look at the flight attendant, and she looks calm, and it makes me feel calm. But if that bitch's lips were sweating, it's terrifying. Like, yo, nigga, why are your lips sweating? What do you know? And then, I'm not even making this shit up. This motherfucker grabbed the podium, he goes, you don't know how scary the things I read in my briefings are. What's that, bro? That's bad leadership. Even as a parent, you think I'm gonna sit my kids down? Hey, little man, come here real quick. I was gonna holler at you for a second. Yo, I'm 3 months behind on the rent, nigga, and I am worried. Very worried. Go to school and have a productive day, nigga. I was just thinking out loud, getting some shit off my chest. Like, what the fuck fuck are you doing, bro? This is bad, man. Jesus Christ. All this motherfucker's ideas sound like high people ideas. Like he doesn't think these things through before he tells us. He just tells us what he's thinking as soon as it occurs to him. This shit sounds nuts. I'm gonna go to China and I'm gonna get those jobs from China and bring them back here to America. For what, nigga? So iPhones can be $9,000? Leave that job in China where it belongs. None of us want to work that hard. What the fuck is he thinking? Because I don't want to make them shits. What the fuck are you doing? Stop trying to give us Chinese jobs. I am going to bring back coal. Coal? I'm not even exaggerating. I have never in my life even seen a fucking lump of coal. I honestly don't even know what coal is for. If you're gonna have motherfuckers digging around in the dirt looking for shit, find me some truffles, nigga. That's what I'm about. And these truffle prices are getting out of control. If it gets any worse, I'm gonna be back down to regular butter like everybody else. Terrible, terrible job. This motherfucker hit North Korea with rap battle threats. Fire and fury, like, yo! Yo, what are you doing? It's fucking Korea, man. Kim Jong-un is a scary motherfucker. He might be as crazy as Trump. Some scary shit. And if you one of them naive motherfuckers that thinks that a war with Korea is gonna be easy, then you don't play Call of Duty at 3 a.m. like I do. Because that's when the Koreans play. Fucking 8-year-old Korean kid took out my whole goddamn platoon last night. I've never seen somebody in an office so high with the most just basic fucking solutions. Like, you know, we should not let any more Muslims in the country till we can figure out what's going on. Did he just say, figure out what's going on? Who doesn't know how to do basic math? Let's count it out, okay? There's been 17 mass shootings in the United States. 4 of them were done by Muslims. None of those 4 Muslims were from any of the 7 countries in your stupid ass original band. And since he brought it up, the other 13 shootings were done by the Tiki Torch Whites. These are facts. And you don't see me trying to ban white people from the show to keep it's a fucking terrible idea because it's mean and it's racist. And most importantly, it would be catastrophic to my bottom line. If there were no white people here tonight, I might leave this bitch with $1,800. This man needs to realize that we all need each other. And that's why we will never, ever be able to beat China. Because everybody in America is racist, and everybody in China is Chinese. This motherfucker called it all wrong. And don't believe the media either, because as all this shit is happening, the media is trying to make us believe that the extremities amongst us are the norms. We can disagree, that's fine. And most of us are keeping a cool head about this shit. You know what I mean? Americans generally respect one another's beliefs, even if they don't share those beliefs. I know I do. I respect everybody's beliefs except Amish people. Because they are the only ones that I can say clearly their God is wrong. The speed limit is 75 miles an hour in Ohio, and 1 lane of traffic is buggy. Nigga, your God is ridiculous. All the Amish people around my way know me too. Not from television, obviously. They know me from the streets. Because when I see them horse and buggies, I'll pull the Porsche over and talk to them. Ezekiel. Ezekiel, are you sure that God doesn't want you to have any of this technology or this energy? Huh? Huh? I can't hear you, nigga. Let me turn this air conditioner off. What did you say? And them niggas be like, get away from me, ye. Ye tried to tempt me like the devil. Devil? Nah, bro. I'm trying to put you on to the game, Zeke. It's a big world out here, nigga. I just went 25 miles in 30 minutes. That's a day's journey for you. You don't even know what the weather's gonna be tomorrow, do you? I do. You don't even know that there's a valuable Pokemon right on your... I drive away. Huh? Oh, my vape pen? You want to hit my vape pen? Oh, sorry, nigga. I'm trying not to get herpes. My bad. I've been playing cat and mouse with herpes for 30 years now, but every night I go to the club, I'll be like, not tonight, herpes. No disrespect. I'm not saying you have herpes. I'm just saying 1 out of 5 people do. So let's just all be careful around this motherfucker and make sure that we leave with the